What's going on, Sky Squad? We are back in the building. Y'all, we back. We are back from Vietnam. We're back from Thailand. Y'all, I had the most amazing trip ever. Okay? Ever. Y'all, we had so much fun that the second Bali trip, I got only 2 spots left now. Because quite a few people who came on this trip to Vietnam ended up booking for Bali as well. So we got 2 spots left. So if you've been thinking about it, now is definitely the time because the flights right now are looking pretty good. Y'all want to hop on these before flights go, crazy. So there is that. I missed y'all too. I could see your comments. I'm still trying to figure out how to work this eCam, but we're going to figure it out. Oh, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? I'm glad you made it back safely. Thank you so much. I appreciate the love, y'all. Man, let me tell y'all something. Vietnam is something else. If you've never been to Vietnam, I can only tell y'all, like, the people there welcomed us with open arms. Like, it was just I feel like it was just last Monday, or was it Sunday? I can't remember which day it was. We were out on the streets exercising in the morning with the people, y'all, and it was so welcoming. It felt so good to be in a space that felt like they wanted us to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't feel like nobody was out to get us. We just felt welcomed and wanted there, y'all. So I just feel like, especially if you are a person of color, definitely y'all just do some traveling. Okay. I know right now it seems a little bit crazy. Okay. I know it's going to sound a little bit crazy. Some people are not going to want to travel right now, but I promise you, if you want to feel some level of peace that you did not even know that you needed, y'all, do it. Do it. Okay. Do it. I ain't ever ate so much pho in my life either. But y'all, the food was good. I felt like I might have lost like 5 pounds. We climbed mountains, y'all. We did boat rides. We were on a crazy, crazy yacht for one night. But it was the most amazing thing ever. Okay, it was the most amazing thing ever. We did so much. And then y'all know I had to do a little bit of shopping in Thailand on my way back. So I stopped through Thailand after we left Vietnam. So listen, I say all this to say we had a blast. I will do a whole video on that entire trip because honestly, it was a trip of a lifetime. I did not know that I needed Vietnam in my life. I didn't know. I did not know. Okay. But now that I know, y'all, I'm going back. I got to go back. People were getting custom suits made. Y'all, it was the dream. It was a vibe. All right. So while I was gone, I know that a lot of things popped off, right? I missed a whole lot of stuff. But that's okay, because we were living our best lives. But now we got to talk about Married to Medicine. So let's get into it. How y'all been doing? Okay, how y'all been doing? Let me know in the chat how y'all been doing. We're going to talk about Married to Medicine. First of all, after watching the episode, all right, I realized quickly, I was like, oh, this is only a 2-part reunion. Or am I wrong? I'm watching part 1 and I'm like thinking to myself, it's going to be a 3-part reunion, and lo and behold, it's only 2. So let's really get into that part of it right now. What does this mean for Married to Medicine? Because this, I think, is probably the first time that I can remember that the reunion has only been 2 parts. Question on the chat says, where in Thailand did you go? We went to Bangkok. In Vietnam, we were in Hanoi, Ninh Bình, which was probably my favorite place. We rode bikes in the mountains. It was crazy. And then we went to Halong Bay. All right. So part 1 of the reunion, I agree. Sierra, it was good, but I just was expecting that we would have 3 parts for some reason because, again, that's typically how these reunions go. We get about we get a 3-part reunion. That's what we're used to, except in the instance that maybe there's not a lot going on, or maybe there wasn't a lot that went on during the reunion. But I would probably, I would think that there was probably more to do with the amount of cast members. And I always feel like with Married to Medicine, it's about the budget. It's about the budget. Maybe it's about the budget. I mean, we had what, 3 super friends technically? Maybe 3 super friends. You account for Dr. Heavenly, and then of course you got all the main ladies. I don't know. It was just interesting to note that it's only going to be 2 parts. So I will be interested to see how it all ends. Yeah, like what, we didn't even get to the drama with the men yet. I mean, and that's coming next week. But again, maybe there wasn't that much drama to discuss when you really think about it. I felt like the quad and king of it all. So let's get into what we did discuss. The quad and king of it all to me was, it was very much diminished. It was very much giving, Quad gave a very generalized answer as to how they broke up. But what was unspoken, it seems, was that King actually wanted to come to the reunion. And that it was Quad. I can't remember if it was Toya or if it was Dr. Contessa that revealed that King wanted to be there. And Toya is and Eugene, or mostly the way Toya positions it is as though it's mostly Eugene who is more or less friends with King, but she did speak highly of King because King got their son one of those cars from, I guess, his business for his birthday or something to that degree. And then Dr. Contessa also spoke on it as well. So it sounds like King wanted to be at the reunion, and Quad saith, no, thank you. No, I don't want him here. Nah, player, that ain't what it is. Now, let's talk about that for a minute, okay? Let's get into that. Logic would dictate that it does make total sense that Quad would not want that man there. A few things. Number one, I would personally, if I'm her, I wouldn't want this man necessarily tied to my story because you don't necessarily know what he's going to reveal. Okay? So let's start there. That's the truth of it. That's the truth. That's the core foundation of it. I'm Quad. I ain't gonna want this man here to give y'all nothing. This is my platform. He ain't welcome here. We not together no more. You played your part. Okay? Because some of the people feel like, well, what was he there for? But at the end of the day, what would he not be there for? Okay, let's just say for the sake of argument that they both decided that, we look good together, we sound good together, we work well together. Let's do this show together. Let's just say for the sake of argument, that was it. Who also has a business? Who passes up the opportunity to do a reality TV show? So the question that could come out of this is, well, was he really here for the right reasons? Well, what are the right reasons to be on a reality TV show other than to promote yourself, your businesses? I mean, those are the smart plays. Would that not be correct? So for anybody that does say, well, what was he here for? Well, for the same reason that everybody else is on the show, I would suppose. But let's break it down even further. So let's say Quad does not want the man at the reunion. And again, I don't blame her because you don't know, now that you guys have broken up, what he would say. And I'm sure she would not want to give him the platform to say anything other than what she would want him to say or anything unflattering about her. However, comma.org, it would have been good. It would have been good TV. I'm just now putting on my producer hat. Now, if I was producing, that man would have been there. I'm sorry to you, Quad. You know, I love you. And Sass by Quad and all of the things I do. But if I were making a reality TV show and we spent and invested time in this man and your relationship, girl, he gonna be there. Okay? Now, I don't know what y'all got to work out before he come. But just like y'all was able to saddle Apollo and himself up to come on to the reunion, y'all can show enough. I mean, though Phaedra was smart enough to bring him along or to okay it all, right? Y'all show enough wrangled him in for another season to come on down to the beachfront, you know what I'm saying, with his woman. So, by golly, if I'm a producer, I'm bringing on King. Let's really make this a 3-part reunion. Let's make this something juicy. Why don't we? I'm just being honest. Okay, I'm coming from a viewer perspective. We don't know what happened other than what Quad so very neatly tied up with a nice little bow. And the only reason that we know that there was some possibility that he would have been there is because Toya and Dr. Contessa told us. But otherwise, Quad had put this thing with I can't recall what she said. It was a mutual decision. We just did not work out, and that is the end of that. So we're a man down with the drama already. Now, I don't know how that worked out for the whole crew, for everybody there. And I did feel like the ladies had some very good questions for her. Simone basically asked her, hey, girl, listen, you could tell me it's none of my business. I respected that Simone said that. But she was like, you know, if y'all didn't have a foundation set up, why would you want this man? Why were you trying to have a baby by this man? And I think that's the question that a lot of us were wanting answers to. Mostly as it became more apparent that the two of them were misaligned. That came to a lot of us, that showed up more and more as the episodes went on. And when I go back to when people tell us that they are having relations 15 times a day, that is it's unrealistic for that to be a long-term thing. And things that are, you have to set the stage, I think, from at least what we all know, right? What we all know once we're in relationships. You probably want to go into a relationship setting the stage for what it's really going to be like to be with you for the long term. Granted, life happens and things will change. Like, you know, you will lose family members, jobs will change, situations will change, and the two people involved have to adjust. But, you know, that level of, you know, what they were given initially, it's cute and all, but is it really sustainable? And it's not, especially when you now throw in the real life. And that the real life is going to be the test of whether or not the relationship is going to stand the test of time. All of that other stuff is cute, it's nice. But the reality of life, when those things hit, the hormones that may have come with the IVF journey itself, misaligned schedules, as you've seen it all play out, specifically maybe more so with Dr. Simone than anybody else, because she showcases a lot of that. Then that's the test of, like, can a relationship really sustain? But that also is what builds the foundation of a relationship. When you do go through those things, that's how you build a solid one. But you can't build on the fluff that happens early on in a relationship that actually doesn't really mean anything. And I think Lexi says it best. Every relationship can't handle IVF, for which, I know nothing about, but I just know that from the way the women talk about it, it sounds like it could put a strain on any relationship. So let's move on. The Met Gala is touched on briefly for the ladies. I mean, do I think that they were wanting to teach Toya a lesson? I think yes, but I think also too, there was a bit of psychology involved with Toya. And for as much as Toya does not like to be psychoanalyzed, I do think that there had to be some level of psychology involved in order to get her to participate in the Met Gala, because she had not participated in it before. So how do you engage somebody who is non-participatory or who does not want to participate? You put them in charge. You put them in a leadership role that they have to own. That is how you get someone to now understand what it is actually like to do this work and not take it for granted. That's what you do. So I don't really want to hear, to be honest with you, them complain about anybody not paying for the event, because though I understand that there was wine donated to the event, what was actually asked of you was not donated. So don't come to me this year with any hard lines or boundaries about what people should and should not do, when you in the past 2 years did not do what they were telling you that you should or should not do. That's kind of my take on it. And I feel like you give somebody a job and hopefully they do the best that they can. And I think that, is it right to necessarily say, well, we're going to put you in charge of this to teach you a lesson? Not really. But to be honest with you, that's sometimes the only way that some people will learn. It's kind of like something that I do sometimes when I'm and people have done it with me and I don't mind it. Is when you tell someone, a chronically late friend, that your event is going to be 30 minutes before the actual event starts. I am very good for this. When it is time to go to the movies, if I'm in charge of putting together the movie event and that movie starts at 4:30, I'm going to tell you to be there at 3:45. Why? Because I want to be seated for the credits. I want to be seated for the previews. I want to be seated because I want to be able to get my popcorn. And I don't want you to ruin my ability to watch said previews. So guess what? I'm going to do some psychology. I'm going to tell you that the event, it starts at 3:45. That's what time that movie starts. So you need to be there early. Okay? And if that's what I got to do to get you there so that I can avoid the mental anguish that I feel when I sit down in that theater and the previews have already played and I have missed them. Oh no, you about to get this. You gonna get it next time. You will be there an hour beforehand. You're not gonna mess up my movie going experience. So in that way, I understand what they did to Toya, and I don't blame them. Is it right? As Whitney Houston says, it's not right, but it's okay. That's where we are with it. That's where we are. Okay, so with that being said, we did touch on that. There is drama between Mimi and Toya. It doesn't necessarily seem too deep. What I do notice is that Toya has the unique ability. Well, Toya has the advantage of experience when it comes to the reunions. What do I mean by that? Toya understands that if you want to get your point across, if you want to be heard, you have to overtalk. That's a skill that I think seasoned vets on this show absolutely know, and unseasoned newbies have no clue about what they are doing there. They're trying to politely, they're trying to engage in the rules of polite conversation, and that is not what a reunion is. The reunion is, if you want to be heard, you're going to have to overtalk the person who is overtalking you. How do you do that? You have got to add some bass to your voice. This is going to sound very crazy, but I need you to hear me and hear me well, especially for anyone who speaks with a higher tenor voice. If you are hoping to be heard on television in some type of argumentation, if you speak like a soprano, then you are going to be, they're going to overtalk you every time because of the shrill tenor of the vocal. What does this mean for Dr. Mimi? Dr. Mimi has a higher way of, like a higher tone to her voice. Toya is able to talk with a lot more bass in her voice. So you almost feel like she means business a bit more. And I know this is vocal mechanics. And some of y'all might be like, Richard, what you talking about? But watch the playback and you will understand what I'm saying. And you can see this through reunion after reunion after reunion. Listen to any argument on television. The person with the most bass in their voice and the person who's able to project the most is going to get the most airtime because the audio is going to reflect what they're saying. Now, granted, they're both mic'd. They're both talking at the same time. But who do you hear more? You honestly are going to hear Toya more. She understands how to project in a way that gets her point across, even if she might be wrong. Now, might Mimi be absolutely right and 100% in what she said? Absolutely. But let's get down to the actual point of it all. The point is, Toya had a meltdown at her home. She went off on Eugene. She went off on everybody. Was Dr. Mimi correct? Absolutely. The ladies do this little thing with Dr. Mimi where they try to discredit what she's saying by putting it under the guise of psychoanalyzing, which is her job. So they make it seem like, well, you're psychoanalyzing us. So what you're saying, I'm going to disregard it because you are bringing your work to us. That is not true. What Dr. Mimi is saying about you is absolutely 100% correct. By telling her that she is psychoanalyzing you, again, it is an attempt to discredit what she's saying as something that is outside of the scope of what is happening in the moment. But what she's saying is absolutely 100% true. What Toya said to Eugene and the way she was acting at that party, it was cringy. Now, am I mad at Toya for doing it? Not really, because if that's how you speak to him, if that's how y'all speak to each other when y'all are upset, I respect you more for being able to showcase the real, raw, and authenticness of your relationship, which we have clearly seen a pattern of over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. However, is Dr. Mimi correct? I think she is. It was cringe. And there you have it. Did Toya turn around and ask, well, how should she speak to her husband? Absolutely, she did. And there you have it. What I think happens with Mimi and Toya is that Mimi calmly and accurately points out things that Toya does that causes drama and chaos and stirs the pot. But we, the viewer, aren't mad at Toya because we respect the fact that Toya is at least doing something. Okay? So she is either A, stirring the pot purposely, or she is B, speaking sometimes in a way that feels erratic, but also feels real and raw. And we as viewers, we don't want everyone to be controlled all the time. So we'll take someone who is wrong because at least they're being real. So I'm with Dr. Mimi, but I'm also with Toya to the degree that I feel like if that's how you really, really act, that's what the camera's going to show. And that's what we need to see. That's what has made this show last for so long. But don't be mad at Dr. Mimi for calling out what you're doing because it's happening. I did like that when Dr. Mimi was talking about, raising, special needs children. I felt like Toya was able to really try to relate to her and bring it back around. That's something that I noticed that a couple of them did in this reunion, which I actually really admired, because it leans into that problem resolution thing that we love to see on reality TV. So let's move on. I want to talk about Brandy and Dr. Contessa for a second. I never really understood this whole situation between the two of them, but apparently it stemmed from Dr. Heavenly saying something to Brandy about Brandy's party and then Dr. Contessa's party. So but Dr. Contessa never told us, and I don't recall. And if y'all recall it in the chat, let us know. Let us know. I'm looking at let me look at your comments real quick. Shanice says Toya doesn't like to be held accountable. I do think that that's true. Lexi Lean says Toya emasculates her husband on TV. I think that that's also true. This ain't Phaedra says, first of all, I love your name. I love Dr. Mimi and Steve. They're great additions to the show. Elizabeth says Mimi got Toya on the brain. Shanice says, I love Dr. Mimi. Lonnie says, I love Dr. Mimi. Shanice says, Mimi is great. Lindria says, I literally said something similar to what you're saying now. Thank you, Richie. You have a sense. A lot of people on social media are delusional. All right. Elizabeth says, did you notice when Brandy and Angel came out, Quad had a stank face and didn't even look at either? I did notice some facial expression coming from Quad when they came out, but I did not know what to attribute that to. I didn't know. Something about, honestly, Quad's hair initially in the first half was throwing me off. They fixed it in the second half, but there was like a wisp that was just like doing something. One of those things was doing its own thing, but they fixed it. So I was like, thank you for getting my girl together. All right. Brandy and Dr. Contessa, I did not get it then, but I got it now. It seems as though Dr. Contessa was focused more on what Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Brandy were talking about before she got there. Not sure who clued her into that, if it was somebody on production or if it was somebody on the cast and maybe we missed it. But it almost sounds like Dr. Contessa took a lot of that angst out on Brandy when that should have been directed towards Dr. Heavenly based on the way the conversation went in the flashback. That's just my take on it. Okay. Let's talk about Dr. Heavenly, because that's really going to lean into what I really want to discuss, and that's Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone. Dr. Heavenly talks about her son having a mental health issue. She does not really disclose what that issue is, but she has not necessarily spoken to him. So we don't really know much about that situation. I'm assuming that maybe as a friend, she really didn't have to. I don't know what it is. And then she leans into the Dr. Mimi of it all. Like I had to contact my good friend Dr. Mimi, and I don't know what the situation with that is. I don't know what she will disclose. I know that there was definitely tension between her and Toya and her and Dr. Simone. Dr. Simone was throwing mad jabs at Dr. Heavenly in this reunion. Dr. Heavenly seemed, I don't want to say oddly, but like kind of muted this reunion. Like maybe tempered down just a bit. And maybe this could have been because she is running for Congress. So she might have wanted to temper herself in ways that maybe she hadn't before. I don't really have much to say about that now because I really want to talk about Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie, but we'll add a dash of Dr. Heavenly into this. I know I'm going to be in the minority when I say this because I can't unsee it. Okay? And I just want you guys to understand that. I already know that the comments are probably going to heavily disagree with what I have to say. I'm okay with that too. Because again, I'm only watching with my two eyes, and it has bothered me every time I've seen it. Whenever we see the flashback of Dr. Simone and Dr. Heavenly interacting, there's something we're missing. Okay? Let me just state that. Now, whether it was what happened afterwards, did Dr. Heavenly go to producers and tell them she felt threatened by Dr. Simone and she don't want to be around her? I don't know. Okay? I don't know what the aftermath was. What I do know is this. Every time I watch the scene of this and this. Now, yes, did Dr. Heavenly put her arm around Dr. Simone? It looked for me as though they were going to take a picture. And as a result, if she was doing this number here, it is kind of a gray moment wherein one party is completely mad and upset. The other party is maybe not taking it as seriously. And maybe Dr. Heavenly should have taken it a lot more seriously. But whenever I see this and I see that, okay, I see Dr. Simone taking her arm and tossing it off of her. Okay? Now, was Dr. Simone's intent to fight Dr. Heavenly? No. Did she put her hand on her? Yes. Was the intent to get her arm off of her? Yes. But did she or did she not put her hand on that lady? Yes, she did. So I never really understand, because I also understand intent. Was Dr. Simone intent to be violent? I don't think it was. Was there any other way that she could have escaped Dr. Heavenly's grasp? Yes. It's called a turn. It's called a bend and snap. It's called a get up. I'm a walk the other way. It's called many different things that she could have done in that moment. But what she did was she did touch that lady. Okay? So to me, when I see Dr. Simone talk about you're delusional, I did not put my hands on you. Yes, you did. Now, did you push her? It depends on how much force went behind your thrust of your hand and moving that elbow. You can call that a push. You can call it a pull. You can call it a move. But what we can't say is that it did not happen that way, because the camera completely shows us it did. So this idea, and here's my thing. If the idea is that you are concerned about how it sounds, and this is where we may be missing something, okay? If we're missing the element of you went to producers and you have told people that I'm a violent person, then that's complete. I guess that's something. That's something that needs to be further explained to me as the viewer. Okay. But because I saw it happen and I keep seeing it in every scene, and every time y'all show the flashback, everybody's making it seem like nothing happened, but it did. Now, was it a mollywop? No. And I feel you, though. I feel you. If you're saying no, I think it's, and forgive me, I'm not wearing my glasses. So, and the screen is far away. But I think it's BBA to Miss Red, who says, no, I will take your hand off me. If you feel that you are going to take somebody's hand off you, then you can't be mad when in my opinion, you can't be mad when they say, well, you putting your hands on me, you touching me, because the two touches are two different things. In my opinion, should you put your hands, and this is again for Dr. Heavenly, should you in mid-argument, go to act like you cool with the person who you just had an argument with? Absolutely not. But if the question is, did you put your hand on her and did you push her arm off of you? Yes, you did. Don't try to make it seem like just because there are consequences for that action that you didn't do it and you want everybody to say, well, no, it didn't happen. I think that there should be any loss of medical license or any. I don't think so. I don't think that. But I think you're on a reality TV show. Everybody's yelling, screaming, and have to be held back at some point. I mean, like y'all all doing the things all the time. So I mean, this is just me in my layman's terms, right? Layman. I'm a layman. I'm a lay person. Out of all the things that y'all done and fought each other, screamed and yelled and cussed each other out, I don't know who made a bigger deal about this behind the scenes. Somebody clearly must have made a bigger deal about it, and it has spiraled into something else. And I would like for Simone to say that so that I can understand it a little bit better. No, listen, here's the thing. Partake. First of all, yes, partay. Oh, hold on, y'all. I gotta get my charger. Y'all hold on for a second. This thing about to die. Lord have mercy. Hold on. Whew, y'all, we back. We almost got cut short. Okay. So Partey says, how are we going to tell that lady how to remove someone's unwelcome touch? Okay, that's a very good question. I can't tell her how to remove Dr. Heavenly's hand. But what I can say is that if you do, don't say you didn't. That's all I'm saying. That's it. Now, is this a push? That's up for debate. It's up for debate. It's up for debate. Especially on a night where all everybody was getting into it. And again, I already said I knew before I started having this discussion that I was going to be in the minority here. And I'm fine with that. I'm just telling you what I see, and I can't unsee it. Every time I see it, I see this. That's what I see. So if you did it, you did it. Am I saying she's wrong for doing it? No. Could she have done it another way? Yes. She could have. She could have spun out of that grasp. She could have backed on up and said, don't ever touch me again. She could have done a number of things to distance herself from that equation, because it was not as though she could have done anything else. Now, if it was a lick for a lick and you was getting your lick back, then, I mean, let's be about it. But it wasn't even like that. They were going to take a picture. So again, if she's like, you know what, I wanted to get out of her grasp, so I got her up off me, I would respect that a lot more. Yeah, I pushed her. Yeah, I did it. And don't touch me. So I think, again, without knowing the context that's going on behind the scenes, because that's what I'm suspecting, that there was some other, and again, I know that they've discussed a lot of this on the show, but I need clarity. I want a clear, this woman went to production and tried to have me fired and try to make me seem like I'm violent, which I'm assuming that's where the unhinged of it all comes from. But everybody felt a little unhinged that day. But that's a group scene in general. That's many group scenes. So To me, I'm gonna tell y'all this. To me, I feel like this. I think that the core issue with Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone has and will always be Dr. Jackie's close friendship with Dr. Heavenly. However, Dr. Jackie felt, I felt like she should have said whatever she said, whatever Dr. Jackie said to Simone, to Andy, it should have been consistent across the board. That's 100% factual. But what I also feel, and maybe this is a boundary that Simone is just setting with Dr. Jackie in general, I also feel to a certain degree like Dr. Simone is I can't help but sometimes feel like Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie are misaligned as friends. I do. I just I think that that being on this show, it's going to be very difficult for them to have a true and genuine friendship because they're just two different people. And I think that they've grown into two different people. And I think that there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. This is not to come down on Dr. Simone because I do feel like Dr. Simone has valid points. But I also think that Dr. Simone is a bit more reactionary than Dr. Jackie. And because Dr. Simone has these huge reactions to things, I don't necessarily think that that really works for Dr. Jackie at this point in her life. I just don't. I think that Dr. Jackie is pretty much adverse to conflict, although she'll go there if she needs to. I think she's adverse to public conflict. Let me say that. Because I still, for some reason, think that on the inside, Dr. Jackie can get with people in a way that is probably not shown on television in front of the cameras. And I think that Dr. Simone is very much, I'm in your face. I'm going to scream and yell at you. We've seen her do it with her husband, her kids, the cast members on the show. And I think that in my opinion, this is what it felt like in that moment as I watched Dr. Simone break down, and I understand that she wants her friend to be consistent, but I also felt like she was kind of holding Dr. Jackie hostage to a certain degree. Either you agree with me and we stay friends, or you agree with her and we're not friends. And I'm looking at their history together. Now, for Dr. Simone, is that healthy? Perhaps it is healthier for her to set that boundary. I don't want to be friends with somebody that does not have my back 100%. When you have an opportunity to have my back and you don't have my back and you choose her over me, that's what it gave. And right now you've chosen her and I'm okay with it and I'm moving on, but you're not really okay with it, right? You're not. You're not really okay with it. And so maybe Dr. Simone has felt like this has happened too many times in the past and she's just over it. But I just can't help but feel like the two of them are misaligned as friends at this point. I don't think that they have the same core values and beliefs in terms of friendship. I think that it's time for them to probably just let it go and maybe just be associates for, the next little while, and at least for as long as they are both on this show. And I think that's where it is. Well, here's the thing with Dr. Heavenly that I think that is very different with Dr. Jackie. And someone says this in the comments, and this is where I want to say, Mel Marcel says Dr. Heavenly has big reactions as well. Dr. Jackie is just choosing to side with Dr. Heavenly. The difference is that Dr. Heavenly does not have big reactions with Dr. Jackie. Dr. Heavenly also does not have big reactions with Dr. Damon. Okay? Now whether that's real or not, What it is that there is a space where I don't care what you think about Dr. Heavenly, doesn't matter what I think about Dr. Heavenly. What we see on the show is that those are two people that Dr. Heavenly does not have those big reactions with. Yes, Dr. Heavenly is reactive. She can be very reactive, but there are boundaries for the two people that she will not go against. That's her husband, and that is Dr. Jackie. Again, whether that's good for the show or not, I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. But with Dr. Simone, just about anybody can get it. And I just don't think that for as much as Dr. Jackie says she wants to be a safe space for Dr. Simone, I don't know that Dr. Jackie feels like Dr. Simone is a safe space for her. And because of that, Dr. Simone does not feel like Dr. Jackie is a safe space for her either. That's what I think. Brand new TJ says, I'm sorry, I need to put my glasses on, but Jackie just like Heavenly doing the dirty work. Maybe not. But I don't think that any of us can argue that Dr. Heavenly does not do that to Dr. Jackie. So regardless of what happens, maybe Dr. Jackie just feels safer with Dr. Heavenly. For whatever reason, and Dr. Simone is in a space where she's going to express every ounce of how she feels. And I feel like you hit the nail on the head, Mel Marcel, that Dr. Simone feels safer with Toya. Leola Tucker says, let's start with don't touch me unless I touch you. I think the problem with that situation is that, and I'm going to give you an example with that. A lot of people on these shows can argue and y'all don't realize it. And then they will go and all take a photo together and you will see everybody's hands on each other. It just is what it is. I think that that's a mechanics thing behind the scenes that somehow works for certain people and it does not work for others. Two people can be arguing, but when it's time to take photos, everybody in the group will take photos together. So the touching thing is a little bit askew, but I think it is a lesson to be learned at this point, especially if you're in heated argument with somebody, is like, don't touch anybody. But I think we look at the intent of the touch, right? If the intent of the touch is let's gather for a photo, that's one thing. And let's be real about that, y'all. Like, it's not too, I want to touch you because I just need you on my body. It ain't that. It's let's gather for the photo, y'all. Somebody's taking a photo of us. Let's all get together. Okay, cool. Like, I get that. But when it comes to like the don't touch me and then take your arm off, okay, that's cool too. But just don't say you didn't do it. Don't call, and you don't want to call it a push. You don't want to call it a shove. You want to call it out. I'm getting your hands off of me. Call it whatever you like. The end result is you took your hand and you pushed it away. We can call it 25 different things. It is what it is. I'm not saying she's wrong for doing that. I don't think she is. But then let's just call it a thing then. Let's call it what it is. I didn't want your hands off me on me. I pushed you off me. Oh, end of story. Period. So we can justify it by calling it don't touch me then, don't touch me there, don't touch me when we take a photo, don't hug me, don't kiss me, don't be in my vicinity. And if you do, I'm going to remove you. Okay, cool. Then that's what you did. That's how I see it. Listen, I mean, whatever Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Jackie have, whether you call it an alliance, whether you call it, I'm just reading your comments, whatever it is that you call it, um, she doesn't. I mean, she doesn't go off on her. She doesn't. She she just doesn't do it. There's that's a space that she won't go. Um, and I think maybe for Dr. Jackie, maybe that's the space that she needs. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I see based on this, what I see on the screen. Fabs says, I have a friend who hates to be touched. She will push her hand as a reflex. I do not touch unless she is the one initiating the touch. Right. So I mean, it is what that's how I see it. Like, okay, like you said, Fabs, she will push your hand if you touch her. Like, okay, I have had to learn. I'm a hugger by nature. Like it just is it is who I am at my core. It ain't for wanting to touch anybody inappropriately, but I'm also learning, especially from this conversation. Let me not touch. Let me not. I ain't touching. I ain't touching y'all. If I see y'all out in the public, I will. Hey, how you doing? And my hands gonna stay like this. Okay, I'm gonna stay like this. Let me listen. Based on this conversation, I have learned a huge lesson. I'm just learning in life in general. Don't touch nobody. So if I see y'all out in public, my instinct is gonna be, oh my God, thank you so much for being a part of the community. Thank you. I wanting to share love, but now I know, child. I'm gonna keep my hand like this. Hey, how you doing? Oh my God, thank you so much. Woo! Don't touch the people. I'm seeing all these comments. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Mm-mm. Lord, no. You can't even give people a platonic hug these days. Good Lord. Let me just let me wear some. I'm gonna wear gloves. I got to start wearing gloves when I go out. Plastic gloves. So nobody can say, ooh, Richie, touch me. Y'all ain't gonna be pushing my hand away. I mean, I say all that to say, listen, I like Dr. Simone. Dr. Simone, people like Toya, Dr. Simone, and Dr. Heavenly, they make this show what it is. So when they either right, wrong, or but they're always right or wrong, but you can't call them indifferent. I like watching people like that because it gives us something to really dissect and really to discuss. Okay. See, listen, some people, Chef Lorraine got 3 feet of personal space. Oh, I don't even know how you was like. How do you make it out in public, girl? Like, cause people don't give you 3 feet of personal space especially if you go out the country, y'all. I hate to tell you, if you expecting 3 feet of personal space, you gonna have to put yourself in a bubble, baby. Like you for real, because you need 3 feet of personal space. I don't know. How you gonna make it? How you get on a plane? How? How do you do it? Ooh, good Lord. Oh God. I love y'all. But I ain't hugging nobody. Oh my goodness. Y'all, okay, so listen. That was the show. The men were there, and there is, some heated beef still between Steve and with Eugene. And I ain't gonna even lie to you. I mean, Steve came ready. Okay. Steve was like amped and ready. And you know who was like instigating? Curtis. Curtis all of a sudden is clocking in when he's showing up. That's interesting to me. He was like, "Yeah, Steve, you looking real antsy." cue, right? You looking real antsy. But he also Curtis got issues with Toya too, because Toya was talking about him putting his hands on the ladies. Touch it. This is why you can't touch people. Don't touch them. Don't touch nobody. People do not like to be touched. Steve, listen, they are forever cutting Eugene down. Poor Eugene. Gene got to take it from Toya. Eugene got to take it for Toya. Eugene just be taking it from these folk. I mean, he just be taking it. And I just keep thinking to myself, that man is working so hard. Y'all give Dr. Eugene a break. He is just, oh my goodness. Hold on, we got some super chats I need to acknowledge. Gadget Girl, thank you, says, I like Mimi and Steve. Thank you so much for the super chat. I think we had another super chat. It's hard for me to see. Y'all, please forgive me. Charge that to my mind and not my heart. And the fact that I'm not wearing my glasses when they're sitting right here. I just don't like wearing them. Y'all know something? Let me say this. Wearing glasses, I hate it. When I now that I have to wear them like all the time, I don't like it because I have to look around. I feel like I'm constantly looking around the frame. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. Is it just me? I'm scrolling through your comments. Okay, so the super chat was from Autumn Falls. Hey, boo. Who says, then could Heavenly be in the wrong? She touched Simone without her consent. That's a gray area. I mean, is the protocol, what type of touch is it? So it all boils down to intent, in my opinion, in this situation. But if you take this a lot deeper and in terms of consent, that I don't think anyone would be shaking hands. I don't think anybody would touch somebody when they're trying to pass by them and not. Have you ever been trying to pass by somebody and you maybe put your hand on their back so that you don't really kind of really touch them? I mean, was that consent? Did you need consent for that? Did you need consent to stand beside somebody and put your hand on their shoulder when you take a photo? Do you need consent for all of these aspects of touch? That's a very good question. And again, it just raises a whole lot more questions for me now. I don't want to touch nobody now because it just makes you think, right? It makes you think twice about my first instinct when I'm meeting somebody who tells me, oh my God, I watch your channel, is to give them a hug. Now I'm like, well, dang, let me not do that no more because I don't want nobody to feel comfortable. I just saw somebody in chat say, give me 3 feet of space. 3 feet? Oh, good Lord. You got to stand over there. We got to stand over there for us to talk. But you got to respect people's boundaries. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Curtis. Oh, Curtis. Can you get me? It's I'm looking around. I gotta look around the frame to see life. That'd be so annoying to me. Not somebody. Who said that? Autumn Fall says Curtis doing more than Jackie did this whole season. I did see. What was I watching the other day? It was an animated movie. It was Zootopia. I was watching Zootopia 2 on the plane to Vietnam. And there is a character, it's a snake. The character is a snake. And the character, as the snake, when it wants to hug someone, it asks, because this snake can only wrap itself around you. It don't have no hands. So the snake will say, and it's a very friendly. Well, maybe did I give away the? Okay, the snake is a very friendly snake, and before the snake can initiate any contact, the snake asks permission to hug, and then it would wrap itself around the person, but not in a deadly way, but in a way that was like, "Oh, I'm giving you a hug now," right? So, mm, well, it was a cute movie. But lessons learned. Everybody has a, I mean, it looks like everybody has a touch thing in the chat. Don't touch the strangers. I'm looking at y'all comments right now. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Oh, God. What is Dr. Jackie's package going to be about? Asking Brandy, is her neck swollen? I don't know. Listen, will we even have time for Dr. Jackie to have a package at this point? Because will she get the Giselle treatment? We only got one more episode. And this thing is a wrap. I don't know what we're going to do. Well, I guess it's okay, really, because Atlanta is going to be coming out on the 5th. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. Don't touch the people. Mm. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Anyway, y'all, I am back from the travels for a little bit, but I'm thinking about doing something else. Can y'all let me know something in the chat? What you think about this? Let me know in the chat. I'm thinking about doing this. I am thinking about doing some mini weekend escapes. Okay. And these will be like trips that are in the United States or like the Caribbean or something like that, where we can just escape from like a Thursday to a Sunday. Would you like something like that? Put it in the chat if you would, because not everybody is able to leave the country for a full week and a half or 2 weeks. Not everybody's able to, get these long flights. What if we had some regional escapes? Like, and I'm saying like this would be like still, I would still probably have like intimate groups, but I'm thinking in places like Arizona, like they have these resorts in Sedona, where it's like a weekend. You got to put your phone away. You got to just exist. And we do some like fun activities together. Or it could be like in the Dominican Republic where it's not that far, or someplace like they do like the cast trip. Let me know if you down in the chat. Let me know if you are down in the chat. Can I put y'all chats on the screen? Why is it not on the screen? I gotta figure this out. Okay. I'm looking at y'all's responses. I would love that. Right. Go to Charleston, South Carolina. I mean, and again, these would be like I said, these like escapes. Like just a mini retreat. You know what I'm saying? Like where you can just get away from your life for a second, and like we're gonna do cast trips. That's it. That's it. Oh, y'all see it on the screen? I don't see it on my end. Okay, can y'all see Gwendolyn's comment on y'all end? Just put yes in the comment. If you can see it on the, okay, y'all say it's on the screen. I can't see it. For me, it says show. Okay, I don't know, y'all. How do I do this? Okay, Seti B says I don't see it. How y'all see it? And how some people see it, some people don't. Yeah, I think it's super manageable, and that way everybody feels like they get to do something, right? So some people want to go away long on the long international trips, but then we do like the like the mid-season trip. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we could probably do those like every so often. I'm gonna work it out. I'm gonna work it out. I know. You know what the crazy thing is? Just Angela, the glasses are literally right here. Autumn Fall says, I'm down, Richie, but just don't come down here in Houston, Texas. It is a mess. People still worried about getting scammed. Why are they getting scammed? How they get who is scamming? How you, listen, we can't scam a trip. And these would be like real like nice destinations. You know what I'm saying? Like not like unaffordable, because I like all the trips to be affordable, but they would be like just you don't have to travel that far. Some people can maybe drive there if you want to. If you can't make one, you can make another month. Like I want to do them once a month. That's honestly how I want to do it. I want to do it once a month. Okay. Somebody said Robin Nelson says good eats in Charleston. Big back Cadillac. We can go see Angel and Bobby and from Potomac. Oh my God, Yana, I hate it too. Teach me your ways. No, I don't. I'm just using a new platform, so I don't know why some people can see the comments that I'm highlighting. On my end, it'll say add to broadcast, and then it says remove from broadcast, but I can't see them on the screen. Yeah, so that was my thing, Robin. I was trying to think of a way that we can still do stuff for people who don't necessarily always who don't want to fly, and you might want to like drive in from someplace. So if we do one in like let's say on the East Coast or on the in the like the Northeast, we can do something on the Southeast. We can do something in the South, and we can do something in the Southwest and the Northwest. But there'll be like these little getaways, and so you don't have to travel that far or like a cross country train trip. Oh. Oh, Houston has been deemed the spring break spot for whatever reason. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Y'all keep talking about this Charleston. Are we going to Charleston? Is that where we going? Utah seems nice. That's what I'm saying. We'll go to these little spots that they like to go to. Brand new TJ says that should be our first trip. Where? Charleston. You know what's funny? Autumn Falls. I've never been to Essence Fest. I think I would be down for Essence Fest. I love New Orleans. I just never been. Listen, it was stated in the chat. Listen, I'm telling you, some of these mountain places, like if we can get there and like, like a mountain resort. That's what I'm talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a getaway. And these would be getaways. This would be put your phone down for a weekend. We're gonna do some activities and stuff like that. And we're gonna have a good time. Okay? That's it. That's what I'm thinking. I've been thinking about this since I was thinking about this on the plane back. No, as I was headed to Vietnam. I was like, how can I do more of these? Because that'd be so much fun. And think about it. We go to some places that ain't nobody like, don't people not really going to a lot? And like do some stuff outside, like really just live. You know what I'm saying? Don't you need a break? Couldn't you use a break from your life? Yes. Yes, we can go on down to Colorado. Colorado is beautiful. I'm just saying. It could be lit, y'all. We're gonna go to Wonderland. Mm. Let me hit up Angel in the DMs. Hold on. I'm gonna text somebody that know her. No, I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna do this the smart way. Let me figure this out. Then I'll post it and then I'll let y'all know. Let me do some magic because it only took me a week to get that Bali trip together. So I know I could do this in less than a week. Y'all stand by. Stand by. All right, y'all. Listen, thank you for tuning in, tapping in as we dive back in. I'm gonna be doing some different types of content on the channel just because I can't be bored. Okay. And sometimes, y'all, I need a break from news and tea. So we're gonna be talking about a bunch of different things in the next coming videos. Look at this channel like Netflix at this point. Okay. We're gonna be talking a little bit of reality TV. We're gonna be talking about a little bit of travel. We're gonna be talking about a little bit of how if you want to be a content creator, I'm gonna make some videos on that. I'm gonna talk about whatever I want to talk about on this channel from now on because I'm tired of being stuck in just one thing and I can't be boxed in. Okay, how about that? And neither can you. So let's grow together. With that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video.